Hey there, my sweet friends. I hope you are all doing well. Welcome to the final day of our 12 Days of Christmas in July series. If you're just joining in, you can find links for the first 11 days at the top of the description so you can stay caught up. And if you're new around here, welcome. I hope you will consider joining my crafty little family by hitting the subscribe button. Don't forget to listen for the question of the day and details on how we can get you entered for a chance to win our prize drawing. Today's project is all about me. I have been so good going outside my comfort zone and sharing sweet and simple projects on the request of the peeps. But today we are going all the way over the top and adding all the details that I love. I'm throwing the flowers, the trims, and embellishments at this card, and I could not be happier with how it turned out. If that sounds good to you, then stick around and we'll make it together. For today's project, we're going to get back into that Baking Spirits Bright collection from Simple Stories. I've got the 12 by 12 collection kit, including the sticker sheet. I have the Bits and Pieces ephemera pack, the foam stickers, and then I'm also going to be using more of these glitter stars. Someone asked me in a previous video for a link to these. I got these on Amazon, and I'll add those in the description below so you can check them out. The card base is pretty simple for this easel card. I just have my 65-pound weight cardstock cut to be 9 inches high by 12 inches wide, scored at 4 and also 8 in. So when we fold that, it will give us the easel profile that we want for our card. Of course, I want to finish the inside more so than regular because this is going to become a part of the overall look. So I've got my pattern paper here, and I'm going to use a really sweet vintagey pink border for all of these layers. So the measurement for the cardstock on the full-size pages here is 3 7/8 by 8 7/8. And the pattern paper is 3 3/4 by 8 3/4. So we're gonna get a border of our cardstock base and the pretty pink cardstock as well. So I just want to center that. This is going to be what shows when the easel portion is folded up. So I thought this kind of orientation of the stripe would be very effective. So I'm just gonna fold this flat so that I can work on to this flat surface. And I do want to add a background pattern for this, same measurements as the inside. And I'm picking a very all over geometric so that when I cover it with the additional layers, it will definitely show as a layering pattern. So speaking of that layering pattern, I'm going to move into this really sweet off blue green color with the border, and I have that on spacer, so this is going to be our first dimensional layer. The measurement for the cardstock here is 3 1/4 by 8 1/4, and the pattern paper is 3 1/8 by 8 1/8, and this is just going to be centered right onto that card base, and you can see how that diagonal check looks really sweet around the border. This also gives it a lot of structural stability because that foam tape is so thick. So I do want to add one layering pattern for this just to break up that blue, and I just cut a strip of the offcut here to layer. I'm putting that on the top mostly because this is where it will show more because I have so many layers to put on. And so there's my layering pattern. I've also cut a couple of little fishtail banner shapes from the scraps, and so I didn't have enough to extend all the way across this portion, but we will be covering it up with some additional layers, so it's okay that it doesn't reach all the way across. So I'm just going to put one on either side, and we'll pretend that that is a full-size strip going across. This is just another layer of dimension and detail. So I do need to break up a little bit of that busy paper pattern. So I'll bring in my Recollections doily. This is a really good size for the Slimline profile card because it's at 4 inches. So you know all of the fragile bits will be within the cover and the border. So that's just going to break up my pattern, but I'll put more pattern on top because that's how I do. Just a circle cut here from the offcuts, and then a border cut with the cardstock Here is more place for some dimensional tabs. So we're going to continue to build. And remember that our pattern is offset on a diagonal. So I'm going to repeat that onto this circle. But see, I am raising it up. It isn't directly in the middle like I normally would. I want to, first of all, cover those ends of our fishtails. And I also want to leave room for our image, our focal image. And so that was from the ephemera pack, and I put that on some spacers. There is a combination here of my regular foam tabs, and then I've also got my 3D foam squares that I pick up from Really Reasonable Ribbon. And so that's going to give me a little bit of dimension, but not create too much bulk. You can tell though that the ones here on the end are doubled up so that it will go on the bottom here of this circle and be well supported and even all the way across. So I'm just putting my little snowman guy here right in the middle. Then I got a couple of those stars that I mentioned earlier. And so I'm just going to kind of tuck one of them in on this side. So a portion of it will go underneath, and then I'll do the same thing for here as well. These are added with just my double-sided adhesive tape. So I have my sentiment, it will go across the bottom. And so I have added my double-sided adhesive here and then a double layer of my foam tabs just so that it is well supported going all the way across. And now you can see how I've kind of finished off the cluster of embellishments here and anchored them so that I've got plenty of room for my sentiment. Now, I do want to add a couple of flower clusters because this is the all the way over the top design. And so I have created mine from our prep day. I have larger pink flowers, the poinsettias, the stamens from Really Reasonable Ribbon. There's netting and loopy twine bows and some additional greenery that's die cut and layered. And then of course I did finish that with my Coral Rose mini check ribbon from Really Reasonable Ribbon. Now I think a good way to get balance if you're going to use more than one arrangement is to have the greenery going in different directions. And so you can see I've put these die cuts going this way, and then I'll put these die cuts going the other way. And now you can see that I really have filled in the top of this card. Just adding these with hot glue because they're pretty heavy with all those flowers in the trim. Okay, so now I've got my 2 flower arrangements added, and I'll bet you think I didn't leave room for some charms, but you don't know me so well if you think I can't work some in over here. And I'm just going to finish off this corner with my snowflake charms. And as I do, I tied those with string before I'm adding them with some hot glue. Cut off the excess, and then cover those cut strings with a little button here. Some final details for the cover. Of course, I want to create balance, so I need to have my sequins on this corner, and I'm going to add those with my Tombow. Okay, now I am looking at these stars, and I think in the process of layering, I may have lost the shape by putting them under that snowman. So I'm just going to very carefully kind of wedge my craft knife under there and pull that corner back up. There we go. Okay, now that looks like a star again. I'm just going to do that for this side as well. It says editing on the fly. All right, that is our front cover. Remember that this will be an easel card, so I need to add something to the base so that it will support it when it's sitting up. So I'm just going to position this and find the placement for my foam sticker. I chose that specifically because it's very dimensional, and so this is going to act as a really good anchor. And so I want to just kind of eyeball the middle there and position this far enough in so that when my card is resting on it, it'll be the right angle. So I'm just going to pull this down a little bit, and that will square it off. I have prepared some flowers for here as well, and I'm going for more of a center that is not as dimensional, so that this card will probably not fold flat for sure, but it will be less bulky this way. And so I have a poinsettia in the pink and red in 2 different colors so that I can alternate them. You see I'm picking these for either side. And then I also have a fairly small little leaf flourish that will go along here and just fill in that space. So I'm gonna take a minute and position these and get them glued down, and then I'll rejoin you when I've got that done. Okay, so there are my flowers in place there with the additional sentiment, and so you can see how this is going to support the card and keep it from sliding forward when it is displayed in the easel position. I think one last detail I want to add, because remember I'm going all the way over the top, is to add just a little bit of stickles for the ends of this poinsettia, and I'm just picking the diamond stickle, so it will be clear, but it will just add a little bit of sparkle, and I'm very carefully concentrating this just on the ends of the petals. I'm not going all over and crazy. This is meant to be a subtle added detail. Do that for this side as well. And since I have it out, I might as well add some additional detail to the snowman. So I'll just add a little bit here and there so we don't go all over and crazy. So I think that is great. And you can see that it will mostly close up. It is definitely not flat, but you will be able to get it folded up properly. So as I mentioned in the intro, we do like to finish out our 12-day series by having a giveaway. And that's just a way for me to give back and say thanks for all the support for the series. All the views, all the likes, and the comments really make all the work worth it. And I really do have the best peeps. I love each and every one of you. So the question of the day is, share with me your favorite project from this 12-day series. And I don't usually pick a favorite, but this time I think I will say I really enjoyed creating the Christmas planner. So let me know in the comments what is your favorite. So we'll be giving away a $25 gift card to Amazon for one lucky winner. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber to my channel and answer all the 12 questions of the day. That is all easy peasy. You can begin entering as soon as this video goes live, and you'll have until July 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to be entered. We'll draw the name of a winner in a special video on July 26th at 7 p.m. I'm wishing good luck for all who enter, and this contest is open to residents of the continental United States only. So that is it for day 12 of Christmas in July. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to let me know in the comments and give me a big thumbs up for this tutorial. If you haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. And remember, you can find links to all of our socials as well as the products I mentioned in this video in the description below. As always, I'm wishing you a happy and productive day, and I thank you so much for watching. Bye.